Hello everyone, my name is Kate Marshall. The name of my channel is called Inked Paper Art, and today's video is day 67 of 365 days of junk journal ideas, where I show you a short 15-minute video every morning teaching you guys how to make a different piece of ephemera for a junk journal, how to make junk journals, how to decorate junk journals, tips and tricks for things. So today's video is day 67, and I'm going to show you a page embellishment. Yesterday's video was scrappy page embellishments. Today's video is a different way to embellish a page in a journal. So like we were showing yesterday, this is a journal that is in progress that I'm making. I've got it almost complete, but I would like to add some more embellishments to the pages. So we have all of our ephemera in here. All of our pockets are in here. Everything is, fully ready to go. A lot of people would consider their journal finished at this point, but I do like to go through and add some more things to my pages. Like this page was very plain yesterday, and we added this little scrappy page embellishment up there at the top. And so we're going to come through and find more pages that just need a little bit more embellishing on them. You can see I still have some work to do. Some pieces need pinned in, etc. But there were some pages where I felt like we could add a little more embellishment. This one has a lot of open space up here. So like I showed you yesterday, you're going to go through your journal and find pages that have too much open space. This one, yes, you could journal in here. You could still journal on here, but I'm going to do an embellishment right here on this one. Today's video, I'm going to use some of my antique brass stencils. These are available. I do have many of them, and I will offer them for sale in a live sale on a Tuesday night. They are not in my Etsy because I do sell most of the antique French things from the live sales. So every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern time, there's a live sale. This guy right here is a ledger number stencil. So normally you would find him on the top of a ledger page. Like, in fact, there is a blue ledger page in the front up here. And if you look right here for this page number, that's what these are. And so somebody would go through and stencil every page in a ledger to put the page numbers on. And can you imagine in a 500-page ledger how much time that took to do that? So I have ledger page number stencils available, and I have a variety of different like alphabet and number stencils. These are antiques from France. They're quite old, and we're going to use this number 5 right here, and we're going to stencil on that one little page right here, and we're going to add a number 5. It's just some kind of simple embellishment. You will be able to see that this has been stenciled on after the fact. And I like that because you're kind of showing the person that you took a little extra time working in your journal to, do some embellishing for them. So how we're going to stencil that is I'm going to remove my blending brush that I normally ink things with, and I'm going to put on a little foam. I find that the foam ones work better when I'm doing stenciling. So I'm going to use the foam one. It's just the squared off foam. It's not the domed foam. Does that make sense? So anyway, we're going to do the stenciling in scorched timber. Scorched timber is what I'm going to describe as an antique black color. If you used regular black, it would be too cold, too new looking. But if you used scorched timber, it's going to be the perfect antique ink shade. So I've inked that up quite generously. Now this page is already bound in my journal, so if I make a mistake, it is what it is, but we're gonna hold this down and we're gonna stencil this. And so I'm just gonna use that little blending foam, and it's just the regular one, and I'm gonna get a nice number 5 in there. Oop, and there we go. That's what we've got. And it's perfect. I love it. I did get some up here. Don't care about that. In fact, I would actually prefer to go around the stencil now that we have that and add a little smudging so that you can really see that this was stenciled on after the fact. If you make a mistake, there's always a fix for it. And even, a little smudging down here where there is no way to stencil it. So now you can see that's really been stenciled on there. I love that. I think that looks great. So from there, we're going to go through and we're going to find a place to do the little ledger page number stencil. You could add the ledger page up here. So see how this corner is just kind of plain? You could add that ledger page stencil up there, and that's what we're going to do. And it's a little hard to do it in a journal that already has ephemera and that kind of stuff in it, but we're going to do it anyway. So you're just going to hold it down and get that little ink dauber in there and try to put that ink in. And like I said, it's a little harder on a journal that already, you know, is bound and stuff. But see how those ledger page number stencils, they're really great. I do mean to list this kind of stuff in Etsy, but I just, you know, am so busy with everything else. Listing stuff in Etsy takes so much time these days. You could come in here and add another number. I do like to just do the numbers randomly, like not so back to back and all that kind of stuff. Now this one here, this is the back of an invoice, but you could again add a different number ledger stencil up there or something like that. And so the ledger stencils, the numbers for the ledger stencils, I have 1 through 500, and I have another set that's 1 through 100. So I have many of them. I can't believe that they used to stencil every single ledger page by hand. Like, oh my gosh. You know, I just don't know how they did things back then. It's crazy to think that they would do that for 500 pages. So we added it on both sides of the music page, and I really like that one for that. Now let's see if we can find another place. Like here's another place. I'm thinking probably do the paper embellishment on that one. And then we're gonna do, you could even do like a little a number on your coffee dyed paper. Let's just do that. I mean, I think that's perfect. You're just adding a little page embellishment, just a little something. And you're not really taking away that writing space. I will try not to go off of the stencil. But again, if you do, you saw how I fixed it and made it look normal. It's all good. And so there's that one. And see, it's just a little number. It's perfect. And these ones have obviously, you know, antique typography font on them because they're so old, but here would have been a good number place too. And I like mixing those numbers in with collage. Right here, it does need a little something else, and I'm probably going to come in with a stamp over top of this. Just a little light colored, like coffee colored stamp over top of that, kind of like a layer of stamping and stenciling. It will be great. Now, do I want one here? We just did it there, but you know, I do like it. So maybe we will. I don't see another spot back here in the back to do it. So let's do it. Okay, so we use number 6, we use number 5. Maybe we do a number 9 right here. Let's do a number 9. Let's do it down here in the corner. And I usually like to keep them up top. I'm going to try up there. It just has to be a little flat space for me. It has to be on a flat surface, and you got to hold that puppy down. And so you're just going to blend it in there. Now, if you have any type of number stencil, it will work for this. If you have any type of design stencil, it will work for this. And that looks really cute, but you know what? I really did like going off the stencil, so I'm going to do it. Some of you will just gasp at this, and that's okay. It's not for everybody, but it is, you know, just a little different. And so I'm just going to go right off the stencil all the way around. And then down here, I just have to create like a faux going off the stencil kind of an area. So there we go. There's that one. And see, going off the stencil actually looks good. I like it. We even could go with that number 6. I think I'm just going to stamp over it, but we could have went off on that one too. So I think that's enough stenciling for these couple stencils that I have out here. But I will encourage you to go through your journal when you think it is finished. Go through your journal, add those scrappy page embellishments that we did yesterday, which were some of these little guys just from scraps. Just little scrappy fun pieces of paper, different textures, different weights of paper. Go through and add some of those. Go through and add some of the stenciling, and the next step will be the stamping. I'm not going to do a video on it because you all know how to stamp and all that kind of stuff, but go through and find some pages, even your coffee dyed pages, and use some stamping on there. What I will say is if you're stamping in an area that could be writing space, keep your ink for your stamping very light. That way the person can still journal over the stamping without, like, you know, making it too hard to read. So I wouldn't use a dark color for stamping. I would use a very light coffee or brown, you know, very, very light stencil color or stamp color, sorry. ink color. Goodness, it's early. So that was today's video. It was short and quick. I don't know that I need to do any more on here, but you know what? While you have all of your stuff out, why not take some of your scraps? Let me find a place for this journal. Why not take some of your scraps and just, while you have it out, put some little stencils on some of your scraps, and you're just making yourself more interesting scraps. You know, you got it out, you've got the ink on there. Go ahead and just make some little stencil decorations. You could go through here and make little scrappy stencils. When doing the stenciling, you do have to add quite a bit of ink to get it in there. You'll notice that I've inked it several times for such a small little number. Super cute. That one's a little too close. We'll do it here. And then we'll just make ourselves some fun little scraps to play with. So there's another one. I went off of both of those. We'll be more careful with this one. And then I'm going to tear this. A little stencil brush also works good. I just don't have one in this room. A little makeup brush. Need to be more careful with my placement. But a little stencil brush would be great. I keep going off on all of them. And so we're going to do this guy right here. And then I'm going to tear these into little cluster bits. And they can go in a journal as just a little embellishment, where they could go in a cluster. But you have this stuff out, so make yourself some extra pieces. And so, oh my gosh, from here, I'm just going to fold and tear. There's that one. Let's see if I can fold it this way. Yes. And there's this one. And I don't care that they're tearing crooked. That's actually better for me because I want these to be scrappy. And so now I've got just a bunch of fun stenciled ledger page numbers on music paper. And these can be embellishments. I could glue these down on a pocket even. I think they're very fun. I encourage you guys to pull out your stencils. I know Tim Holtz has number stencils. Lots of places have number stencils. By no means do you have to have antique ones, but if you want them, you know where to find them. Okay, guys, I hope that if you like this type of content that you subscribe to the channel. My videos have been late and I do apologize, but I hope that you like the content and that you subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.